It was, I think, that infectious enthusiasm and the energy that she had that really rubbed off on me for.
When Princess Diana passed away, William was only 15 years old, and he remained relatively reserved regarding the matter in the immediate aftermath. Being the future king of the UK, William always had to maintain control over his emotions. After years of silence regarding Diana's death, William eventually began to discuss it openly, shedding light on why he had refrained from doing so before. What exactly did Prince William reveal about his mother? Was he truly prohibited from addressing the suspicious circumstances surrounding her death by the royals? Keep watching to find out. The news of Princess Diana's tragic death in August of 1997 sent shockwaves around the globe, catching everyone by surprise. Just imagine the devastating impact it had on Harry and William when they awoke to Charles delivering the heartbreaking news. Sadly, the young princes didn't spend Diana's final days with her. They were in Scotland with the rest of the royal family, while Diana was vacationing in Saint-Tropez with her boyfriend. By this time, Diana had already divorced Prince Charles upon discovering his affair with Camilla, and the royal palace had distanced themselves from her. Despite the tumultuous times, Diana found solace in living life away from the toxic environment of the royal family, embracing newfound happiness with Dodi Fayed. Fast forward to August of 1997, Diana and her companions enjoyed beach days in France before heading to Paris. Despite no longer being a royal member, the world remained captivated by Diana's every move, perhaps even more so after her divorce. Consequently, paparazzi trailed her relentlessly, with an unusually high number present on that fateful night. Diana's attempt to leave the Ritz Hotel was marred by the overwhelming presence of photographers, prompting her team to opt for a discreet exit from the back. However, their journey was cut tragically short, as the chaotic drive from the hotel ended in disaster within mere minutes. Whether due to the intoxicated driver or the swarm of paparazzi pursuing them, the car lost control and crashed into the tunnel wall in Paris. The news of the fatal car crash spread swiftly, plunging the world into mourning. Despite efforts to save her, Diana succumbed to her injuries. The morning of August 31st, 1997, forever altered the lives of Princes William and Harry as they awoke to devastating news. Their beloved mother, Princess Diana, had been involved in a tragic accident in Paris and had not survived. While the world grieved publicly and vocally, the profound impact on her two young sons, aged only 15 and 12 at the time, cannot be overstated. This poignant moment, immortalized in Peter Morgan's rendition, unfolds in the 6th season of The Crown. Following Diana's tragic demise, her ex-husband and father of her children, Prince Charles, grapples with his own immense grief as he must summon the strength to deliver the heartbreaking news to William and Harry. At the time, they are spending their annual summer break at Balmoral Castle with Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip. It is sometime after 7 a.m. when Charles rouses William from sleep before turning to Harry. Reflecting on this solemn moment, Prince Harry shared his recollections in his memoir, Spare, published earlier this year. Charles, Harry writes, sat down on the edge of the bed, gently placing a hand on his knee. "Darling boy, Mummy's been in a car crash," Charles breaks the news, his voice heavy with sorrow. "They tried, darling boy. I'm afraid she didn't make it." "I remember just feeling completely numb, disoriented, dizzy," Prince William shared in a BBC documentary on Diana's death, alongside his brother Harry, aired in 2017. You feel very, very confused, and you keep asking yourself, why me? All the time? Why? What have I done? Why? Why has this happened to us? In the portrayal of these events in The Crown, viewers catch a glimpse of William grappling with these emotions. Rufus Campa portrays the young prince who overhears Charles, the Queen, and Prince Philip discussing whether Diana should have a public funeral. When Charles suggests that William has to behave like the future king and mourn his mother in public, the teenage royal reacts by covering his ears with his headphones and storming off. Later, he vanishes for 14 hours, prompting a frantic search by his family. It's revealed that he had retreated to the countryside alone before eventually reuniting with his worried family. While this dramatic scene may have parallels with real events, it likely didn't occur on the day of Diana's passing, and the exact circumstances remain unclear. Tina Brown's The Diana Chronicles reports a similar incident, albeit not on the day of Diana's death. During a discussion to plan the funeral later that week, Prince Philip expressed concern about William's whereabouts. "Our worry at the moment is William," he remarked. "He's run away up the hill, and we can't find him. That's the only thing we're concerned with at the moment." William hasn't extensively discussed that incident, but he has opened up about finding solace in nature during that challenging time. "I was in Balmoral when I was told that my mother had died," he revealed in a speech delivered in 2021. "Still in shock, I found sanctuary in the service at Crathie Kirk that very morning, and in the dark days of grief that followed, I found comfort and solace in the Scottish outdoors." In an effort to shield her grandsons from the overwhelming media coverage surrounding Diana's death, Queen Elizabeth II took steps to keep them away from newspapers, television broadcasts, and radio reports. Despite facing criticism for her delayed public response to Diana's tragic passing, the Queen prioritized the well-being of her grandsons as they navigated their private mourning. Reflecting on his grandmother's actions, Prince William remarked in the 2017 BBC documentary, Diana, 7 Days. "I think it was a very hard decision for my grandmother to make. She felt very torn between being a grandmother to William and Harry and her queen role." He further explained, "Back then, obviously, there were no smartphones or anything like that, so you couldn't get your news, and thankfully, at the time, to be honest, we had the privacy to mourn and collect our thoughts, and to have that space away from everybody. We had no idea that the reaction to her death would be quite so huge." He and Harry, of course, witnessed the enormity of the public response firsthand during the public funeral held for their mother a week later. As they walked behind her coffin in the solemn procession to Westminster Abbey, they were surrounded by thousands of mourners gathered in London. Reflecting on that moment, Prince William shared, "It wasn't an easy decision, and it was sort of a collective family decision to do that. It was one of the hardest things I have ever done." According to Tina Brown's account in the Diana Chronicles, William initially struggled with the idea, expressing his reluctance by saying, "I'm not going to march in any bloody parade." However, Prince Philip offered his support with a poignant question, "If I walk, will you walk with me?" Decades later, Prince Charles reflects on that poignant moment with a different perspective, although he still acknowledges the immense difficulty it entailed. In the documentary Diana, 7 Days, he shares, "I have to say that whenever it becomes as personal as walking behind your mother's funeral cortege, it gets to another level of duty. But I just kept thinking about what she would want, and that she'd be proud of Harry and me being able to go through it." Prince William opens up about the internal struggle he faced in the aftermath of Princess Diana's death, revealing the challenges of balancing his public responsibilities with his private grief. "It was hard to balance between me being Prince William and having to do my bit, versus the private William who just wanted to go in a room and cry because he'd lost his mother," he shares candidly. In reflecting on his experience, William acknowledges the underlying truths portrayed in The Crown regarding his emotional journey. While he may not have physically disappeared into the Scottish Highlands, as depicted in the series, he confirms that the depiction captures the essence of his real-life inner conflict during that time. The scene in The Crown resonates with William's struggle of grappling with his sense of duty while simultaneously longing to escape from the weight of his emotions, a sentiment that many can relate to, especially in the face of such profound loss. Scotland holds a complex tapestry of memories for Prince William, intertwining moments of joy and sorrow that have shaped his life profoundly. In a poignant speech delivered to the General Assembly of the Church of Scotland in Edinburgh in May 2021, William candidly shared his deeply personal connection to the Scottish landscape. Recalling the fateful moment he received the devastating news of his mother's passing while at Balmoral, William reflected on the stark contrast between the breathtaking beauty of the Scottish countryside and the crushing weight of grief that enveloped him. Despite the numbing shock of loss, he sought solace in the familiar rituals of worship at Crathy Kirk, finding a sanctuary amidst the turmoil of emotions. Amidst the darkness of mourning, William found solace in the rugged expanse of the Scottish outdoors, where the wind-swept moors and towering peaks provided a backdrop for introspection and healing. It was in these serene surroundings that he sought refuge from the relentless tide of sorrow, finding fleeting moments of peace amidst nature's embrace. The portrayal of William's somber retreat into the woods following Diana's death, as depicted in Episode 4 of the 6th season of The Crown, offers a glimpse into the private turmoil he endured during those harrowing days. His solitary wanderings, unbeknownst to those around him, underscore the profound depth of his grief and the solitary journey he embarked upon in search of solace. However, amidst the darkness, Scotland also became a place of new beginnings for Prince William. It was here that he crossed paths with his future wife, Kate Middleton, while pursuing his studies, a serendipitous encounter that would ultimately blossom into a lifelong partnership. The loss of Princess Diana shook the royal family to its core, thrusting Prince William and Prince Harry into a whirlwind of grief and confusion. In the aftermath of their mother's passing, the family rallied together, attempting to navigate the murky waters of loss and mourning. Recollections of those early days are tinged with the bittersweet ache of childhood innocence shattered by tragedy. Prince William, reflecting on those tender years, spoke of the family's efforts to broach the topic of Diana's death with him and Harry. In the HBO documentary, Diana, Our Mother, Her Life and Legacy, William revealed the challenges of grappling with such profound loss at such a tender age. The solemn procession of Princess Diana's funeral, depicted in Season 6 of The Crown, stands as a stark testament to the public outpouring of grief that swept the nation. As William and Harry walked behind their mother's coffin, surrounded by throngs of mourners, the weight of their sorrow hung heavy in the air. In a poignant exchange captured in the series, William's innocent query to his grandfather, Prince Philip, reflects the bewilderment of youth grappling with the enormity of the moment. "Why are they crying for someone they never knew?" William asks, to which Philip offers a simple yet profound response. "They're not crying for her, they're crying for you." In the aftermath of Princess Diana's tragic death, Prince William grappled with a whirlwind of emotions that he struggled to comprehend fully. Despite the public perception of the young prince as composed and stoic during such a difficult time, William candidly admitted that he faced internal turmoil and confusion. The iconic image of William and Harry walking behind their mother's casket remains etched in the collective memory of many. Yet behind the facade of royal composure, William was confronting a profound sense of loss and bewilderment. In the HBO documentary, Diana, Our Mother, William offered a rare glimpse into his inner world, describing the emotional upheaval he experienced. Comparing the impact of Diana's death to an earthquake that shattered his life, William conveyed the magnitude of his grief. Despite the support of his family, including the royal household, William grappled with the enormity of his emotions at such a tender age. As he reflected on his experience in the documentary, William acknowledged the complexities of processing grief as a child, particularly when faced with the sudden and overwhelming loss of a parent. At the time of Diana's death, William was just a young boy, ill-equipped to articulate the depth of his feelings or comprehend the profound implications of his mother's absence. The emotional turmoil he experienced left him grappling with an internal struggle that defied easy explanation. In addition to reflecting on the lasting impact of his mother's death, Prince William also acknowledges Princess Diana's profound influence on his emotional development. Renowned for her compassion and empathy, Diana's approach to life stood in stark contrast to the traditional stoicism often associated with the royal family. Princess Diana's humanitarian efforts, particularly her work with marginalized communities and her advocacy during the AIDS crisis, showcased her genuine kindness and empathy. Her willingness to embrace emotional expression in a typically reserved institution like the monarchy left an indelible mark on those around her, including her sons. While Prince William has embraced his role as a future monarch and the accompanying responsibilities, he has also inherited his mother's capacity for emotional openness. He attributes much of his understanding of emotional expression to Diana's influence on his upbringing. During the HBO documentary, Diana, Our Mother, Prince William spoke candidly about his mother's emphasis on the importance of acknowledging and expressing one's feelings. He recalled Diana's unwavering belief in the significance of emotions and how she encouraged her sons to embrace their emotional selves. In a review of the documentary, Prince William's charitable endeavors reflect the values instilled in him by his mother. Diana's legacy lives on through her son's philanthropic work, which is imbued with the same compassion and empathy she exemplified throughout her life. Through their efforts, William and Harry honor their mother's memory and continue her legacy of kindness and compassion in the world. Growing up, Prince William had regular interaction with Queen Elizabeth, yet the dynamic between them underwent a significant shift following Diana's death. Reflecting on this transformation, William acknowledged the profound impact of his grandmother's support during such challenging times. In a documentary commemorating the Queen's 90th birthday, William expressed gratitude for her understanding of the complexities surrounding grief and loss. He emphasized the importance of having someone like the Queen to turn to, particularly in the absence of his mother's presence. As William embarked on his journey toward assuming the responsibilities of kingship, his relationship with the Queen took on added significance. Under her mentorship, William received guidance and instruction integral to his royal education. Historian Robert Lacey noted the special closeness that developed between William and the Queen as she played a pivotal role in shaping his understanding of royal duties and obligations. However, with such privilege also came immense pressure, as William navigated the weight of his future role under the watchful eye of his grandmother. In the years following the tragic death of his mother, Princess Diana, Prince William has openly discussed the profound impact of her loss on his life. William, who was just 15 years old at the time of Diana's passing, emphasizes that the pain of losing a parent is something that never truly fades away. During a 2017 interview with BBC One documentary, Mind Over Marathon, William candidly shared his ongoing struggle with the shock and grief of his mother's death. He expressed, "I still have shock within me. People say it can't last that long, but it does." Reflecting on the enormity of the loss, he added, "You never get over it. It's such an unbelievably big moment in your life that it never leaves you. You just learn to deal with it." Similarly, in a 2017 interview with GQ magazine, William spoke about the enduring difficulty of coping with his mother's death. He described the rawness of his grief, especially given the widespread public awareness of Diana's story. Unlike most people who can choose to keep their grief private, William and his family were thrust into the spotlight, making their mourning process a public spectacle. As viewers delve into portrayals of the royal family, such as in The Crown, it's important to remember the real people behind the dramatization. While the series may offer entertainment, it also delves into deeply personal and sometimes painful moments in history. Biographer Sarah Gristwood highlights the sensitivity required when discussing the experiences of William and his brother, Harry, who endured profound trauma at a young age and faced intense public scrutiny in its aftermath. While both William and Harry have chosen to share some aspects of their grief and experiences, there are undoubtedly aspects of their emotions and struggles that remain private. As outsiders, there are limits to what we can truly understand about their journeys of healing and resilience. It's essential to respect their privacy and recognize that some aspects of their lives are rightfully kept out of the public eye. Prince William's candid reflections on the lasting impact of Princess Diana's death offer a poignant reminder of the enduring pain of loss and the complexities of grief, especially in the public eye. While we may never fully comprehend the depth of William's emotions, his willingness to share glimpses of his journey serves as a powerful testament to human resilience. What are your thoughts on Prince William's reflections? Have you experienced a similar loss? And if so, how has it shaped your perspective? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more insightful content. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay tuned.